This questioner says, sometimes I wonder, seeing you sitting there in your chair, untouched by any outer challenge, on what base can you tell people to accept whatever life situation they are put in? So this is where I spent my life, sitting on this chair. As long as you're here as a human, you will find there will be challenges. And I don't sit on this chair all my life. And most importantly, I'm not telling anybody that they should be doing something. The questioner seems to think that I'm saying, you should accept whatever life situation you're in. That has two errors in it. One is there is no should. Not telling anybody what to do. It's only a suggestion. It says, try it out. So there's no authority behind it. Just try it out. You have to be your own authority and find the truth for yourself. All it requires is the minimum of openness that says, well, I'm ready to try it out, see what changes in my life if I give up my continuous mental complaining about what is. I've had that for 25 years, it hasn't done much for me, so I can let go of that, perhaps, can try it out. And the continuous complaining hasn't improved anything in my life. In fact, done the opposite. So I could try, why not try something different? It's only a suggestion. If it's not received, that's fine too. If there is no openness, and the person says, I believe what you're talking about is rubbish, that's fine too. That's your viewpoint. I'm happy with that. Makes no difference. There's no should or must. Just a suggestion. Another little error in the question is telling people to accept whatever life situation they are in. I don't say accept whatever life situation you're in or try it out, but it doesn't apply to the life situation, because the life situation is in time. It has a past and a future. Your life situation may be you have a job that is very repetitive and where you're surrounded by negative people and it's boring, negative, there's a lot of conflict continuously around you. Am I saying, accept that's your life situation, you're there, that's the situation. Or you're in a totally dysfunctional family relationship, you must accept the dysfunction in your family relation. No. The only thing where acceptance applies is the present moment, not the entire situation. Another example, you're homeless, sitting on a bench, just a few cents in your pocket. Okay, am I saying you must accept, or am I suggesting that you should accept your situation, that you are homeless, that you have failed, that you are destitute now, that you accept that the fact that you're a loser. No, these are all mental stories that you might be telling yourself. Am I asking you to accept the stories that you're telling yourself, that your life has failed, that you have achieved nothing in the 50 years that you've been here? No. Acceptance is not to be applied to that. Acceptance applies only to this moment. At this moment, you're at your place of work, surrounded by these people, and there's your try out, taking responsibility for this moment and see if you can accept that this is where I am right now, knowing that change is desirable because you don't want to stay here forever. Another example, I've stuck in the mud. I wrote about it somewhere. You find yourself stuck in the mud, and so there's no point in complaining of saying how dreadful it is. It just is. Why add the dreadfulness to it? It's a challenge. Of course it's a challenge being stuck in the mud. It's a situation that requires some action unless you really want to stay there, but it's unlikely. But in the meantime, you can accept the simple isness of this moment instead of adding inner resistance to it. This does not remove your ability to bring about change in the situation. In fact, it enhances your ability to bring about change in the situation. As you all know the saying, which is very true, what you resist persists. And I'm sure many of you have already found that out in your life. And then suddenly, when you let go of resistance, you let go of an attachment to something. I need this to happen in order to be happy. I don't want what is, I want something else. To be okay with what is, which is the simplicity of this moment, is the beginning of true change. It does not mean that the form of this moment persists when you accept the form of this moment. If there's something that is more pleasant and better for the unfoldment of this life form, then that will come about either through action that you take or through something that happens to change the situation, or both cooperating together. But the basis for true change is freedom from negativity. And that's what acceptance implies, no negativity about what is. And then you see what this moment requires. What is it that is required now so that life can express itself more fully, or consciousness can express itself more fully through this form? It might require action. But preceding the action is the state of alert presence. So any seemingly unpleasant situation, there is such a thing as an unpleasant situation. You could fall into a river and it's cold and wet, and there you are, cold and wet. You have to do something. But complaining about it is useless. But becoming alert and present and saying, well, this is what is, and now then action takes place. So acceptance always, as the Course in Miracles has an expression, it says, single out this moment. So out of your entire life situation, my marriage, my job, my finances, my health situation, all these are life situation. You have a health situation, maybe your health is good, maybe there's something not quite right. So you have a health, you might think of it in terms of I have a health problem, whatever. That's part of your life situation. Am I saying accept the fact that your whatever kidneys are not working well, or your circulation is blood is too high, blood pressure is too high? Should you accept the fact just this moment, not any situation? You single out of the situation. You single out this moment, and that is a new thing for many people. They don't realize that that's possible. So the focal point of your attention is not in the life situation. Yes, you know exactly what your life situation is, but you single out, what about this moment? Can I accept this moment within my marriage, within my health situation, within my finances, which have just collapsed, and yet here I am sitting in a bus, just had to let go of my BMW, and here I sit on a bus. So what's wrong with that? Unless the mind says there's something wrong with that. Can I accept this moment? Yes. So you bring acceptance to this moment, that's the basis, and then you are not governed by reactivity, and then true change is possible. You can initiate change. Sometimes change even happens without you doing anything. But I'm not telling you that that's what you should do. You must accept this moment. Because if your preference is to reject this moment and you prefer unhappiness, that's fine too. Life wants to experience for a while through that form unhappiness, the drama, the script being acted out on stage, the stage of life. So you are pretending to be an unhappy little me, and you're playing your part, associating with other unhappy little me's because they tend to congregate. So you attract other unhappy little me's, and then you can either reinforce each other's unhappiness, which is usually good, or you can be in conflict, which also reinforces each other's unhappiness, or you can be in conflict as a little unhappy group with another unhappy group. It simply means that for a while life wants to continue dreaming that particular dream, and eventually it'll want to wake up. So when the time is right, then you will see the truth of this, and you'll say, okay, I'll try that. I've had enough unhappiness. I don't really need any more. That's really all that's required, that you've had enough unhappiness. Do you want any more? No, I'd rather not. Well, how do you... Then don't generate it. If you don't want any more unhappiness, don't generate it. Because it's not the situation that causes the unhappiness, it's my reaction that causes the unhappiness. Even if you're in prison, it is. Nobody could call it it's not a great thing. It's good. It's so good that I'm in prison. I love it here. No, but it is. You can come to a simple acceptance. I mentioned in the New Earth 3 levels of relating to the present moment. One is the simple acceptance of what is. If you can't enjoy the present moment, which may be the case sometimes, I'm not saying you must enjoy this moment. Perhaps you can't enjoy it. If you've just fallen into a cold puddle and there you stand, don't know where to go. You can't enjoy you're freezing cold and shivering. You can enjoy, no. But you can accept. That's what is. And the moment you accept, even there, you can sense an inner peace in the background. And then there are other situations that can actually be enjoyed. Many, probably most. And you'll see that where you cannot enjoy is a minority of situations, a relatively small number of situations you just can't enjoy, that are physically unpleasant, but you can still accept. So you can bring acceptance to the present moment, or you can bring enjoyment of simple things. It's not the big things that are really, truly the joyful things. It's noticing all the little things in life. That's at least how I experience it, where true enjoyment lies. Just raindrops dripping, listening to the wind, or just the simple stillness of a room and piece of furniture, and it's there in its simple beingness. There it is. And a glass of water, and this. If you really looked, it's beautiful. It's all beautiful. And so you enjoy the simplicity of a scent, a smell, something, of performing a simple action, and enjoy that. You're not performing the action as a means to an end. You actually enjoy doing what you're doing. You bring enjoyment. And so you see, true joy consists of many, many, many little things in life. If you wait for one big thing to feel joy, then you may have to wait for a long time. And when the big thing comes, before you know it, it's over. I'm waiting for the great wedding, the wedding, my wedding or somebody else's wedding. I'm waiting for that'll be so great. And before you know it, it's over. And even on the day, maybe things go wrong and suddenly the bride or the groom are unhappy. Oh, this shouldn't be happening. The photographer hasn't turned up. The cake has fallen off the table. It's my whole, I've been looking forward to this day, and it's all spoiled. And if it all goes well, but even then the day soon will be over, and then the next day you wake up and it's just the first day of your married life. Was that it? What's not? What now? So there's such a thing as an anticlimax. That's the expression. And then you have to look for some other high. Let's go somewhere. Where can we go? Okay, we go to Hawaii. That must be great. So let's book it. In 5 weeks we'll be there. Okay, can't wait for it. Can't wait. You miss the 5 weeks. All the little beautiful things you miss. And finally you get there. But then you don't get the room that you booked in the hotel. You get a different room, hasn't got a good view. Wherever you go, little things go wrong. So if you look for a situation to satisfy you, then you're always you're lining yourself up for disappointment. So paying attention to small things. Life consists of small things. It's just a succession of small things. Even for somebody who is, let's say, a great famous person in the public eye, you think everything this person does is so significant. Every day there's something big. But if you analyze the big thing every day, let's say you're the President of the United States and now you're giving a big speech there, and in the afternoon you give a big speech, and then you meet the king of so-and-so and the president of such and such, and then you phone this person. But if you analyze, it's just, all this is so big and significant in your life. If you look at each of these events, you see that it also consists of little things. You pick up the phone and say, put me through to the President of France or whoever you want to talk to. And there you have another voice talking and you're talking. Or you step into the limo and there you are sitting in the limo driving somewhere, and then you step out of the limo and then you face an audience, you go up to the stage. It's always just a little, all it consists of just little steps. Not. So what you do really isn't that important, but the energy that flows into what you do, that you bring to it, that you manifest, is primary. Okay, so I'm still sitting on this chair, unchallenged by anything. I mustn't move because then the challenges start, I suppose.